Hello YouTube, Insane Jay here. As promised, here's my full review of the HTC Aria, a fantastic phone running on the most recent version of Android firmware, which is Froyo, and it's one of the only phones that runs on AT&T, is such a small size, and has such a great operating system besides the iPhone. So I'm going to run through a couple basic categories to show you exactly what this phone stands up for when you're using it, and what I think of it in general. Also, I'm going to give you an overall score out of 10, just so that you can see exactly how this will show up in terms of other phones. So first, going through the hardware in case you didn't see my unboxing video, you have your back matte cover which fits and grips really nicely in your hand. You have a little speaker and a camera without a flash right there. You have your headphone jack right there that can plug into anything that a normal headphone jack would go. You have this little nub right here. You need to actually have fingernails to take off the back cover, which is a complaint, but it's okay. But that nub is there just to help you out a bit. Here's the power button that is very sensitive. I keep this off in when I'm at meetings and at other parts of the day, and I find it turning on a lot in my pocket, which is a bad thing. The iPhone never did that. So that's one thing that you might want to think of if you're at school a lot. Here is just the normal volume knob. On the bottom, you have a couple sensors and your normal charger in USB, micro USB plug. And besides the front, that's it. Now let's get into the actual phone part of it. So the phone quality in general, I find it great. When I first called a couple people when I got the phone, they couldn't tell if I was on a home phone or a cell phone. So in terms of phone quality from me to them, it's pretty great. Getting it back, it's okay, but I find it hard to listen and hear everything they're saying with the volume turned all the way up. So if you're talking on the phone a lot with this kind of phone, you might want to take another look at some other Android phones, because the last thing you want to do is be jamming this phone in your ear when there's a lot of background noise around you. But besides that, the phone quality is absolutely fantastic, and I love how you're on the main screen. You can just tap the phone icon and call whoever you want right from there. Let's jump into the battery life. Now, this is probably the most complained about thing with this device. The battery life is okay, but all of its applications and all of its widgets and everything that comes with it makes the battery life just decrease rapidly. In just about half a day, all the battery life is drained from this phone, so you need to charge it, halfway through your normal lifespan. Luckily, I don't keep this phone on that much, and when I am running it, I make sure to close all the applications that I don't want running, and it can last you a good day. But one of the big complaints is that, so if you're very conscious about battery life or using it all day, every second, you might also want to be steer clear of this one. Now, going into the touch screen, I can't say that it is any worse than the iPhone one. In fact, this is probably one of the best touch screens I've ever used, ever. I love the compatibility, I love how sensitive it is, and how you can just swipe easily. I haven't once touched something that I didn't want to touch besides using the keyboard. So to demonstrate the keyboard, I'll go into YouTube, and I'll tap that little quick search button over there, and I can type stuff in. So here, if I want to type in Insane J, you see it's pretty hard to come up with things, and that one wasn't a very good search. So you need to look very closely and then type that little button. So if you have big fingers or are generally a big boned person, you're not going to want to get this phone either, because this is a very delicate phone. I've noticed probably my biggest complaint about this phone is how sensitive it is. Whenever I tap any of the buttons by accident, I'm instantly jumped away from what I was doing. So for people who want to concentrate on one thing for a long time, not good at all. In fact, this happened to me recently. If you jump into the camcorder mode, which normally is pretty good, it takes okay quality, and I would record something, and by accident, if I turned it around and I slid over the home button just a little bit, not held it down, then it would jump right out and stop the record there. Luckily, it saves that portion of the video before it, but it's a real shame because you can't tell when it's done recording. And things like that. So that's happened to me a ton, where I'm in the middle of doing something, by accident I press the back button, or I lend this to a friend and they can't figure out what's going on, because that hasn't happened on other phones. So I'd say everything that I'm saying that is not a good thing with this phone, that would be the only thing that I think is serious. The sensitivity of these bottom buttons right here is too much. If they were actual buttons, that would probably be the best improvement for this device. Now, jumping into the Android marketplace and applications in general, I'm saying that I'm completely thrown off guard. I thought this would be a decent app store, not nearly as good as the iPhone app store, but everything I've searched for that I've wanted has been there. You jump into the marketplace and you can find almost any app. I mean, admittedly, it's not that good in comparison to the Apple Store, since you can't really browse it online, and if you want to, you know, review apps and whatnot, you do have to go through a menu system. But right here, it has a lot of great apps right here. Most of them are free, and if you want to buy them, you can use Amazon account, PayPal account, anything you really want to do, except for iTunes, of course, since they're the competitor. Also, you get to check out the AT&T App Center. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can if you want to. And it's pretty great. I like the whole system of everything, and they even have a lot of games ported here, like Angry Birds, Doodle Jump, TweetDeck, stuff like that. So that's fantastic. I love the Apple Store. I use Booth Droid right now for my daily booth, which you can check out on my channel using my banner or going to my website and clicking links. And as you can see just here, I have a bunch of really nice apps. I have to say one of the most practical apps I have is Advanced what is this called? Advanced Task Killer, I think. But since Android is so kind of open to things, anyone can really make almost any kind of app and put it here. And on an Apple iPhone, you can't do this. So if your battery life is ever going low, you can just kill as many apps as you want. In fact, I did that before recording this video, and most of the time you'll have at least a dozen apps open at once, just because everything always runs in the background. You never need to enable or disable backgrounding because it's always working. So that's good, but it's also bad if you want to conserve battery life. So this is definitely the best application I can recommend for someone using this phone a lot. Also, of course, you have your beautiful menus over here that let you do whatever you want just from any menu. Now let's go into storage. Now on this device, I believe you have 2 to 4 gigabytes of built-in memory on your flash drive SD card in here that comes with it. You don't have to remove it. You don't have to add anything. I don't even know where it is. I haven't tried looking for it yet. But as of right now, you have a plentiful amount of space. If you want to connect it to a USB, if you want to connect it to a computer, it shows up as a USB, and you can just play music. I think I'm on vibrate, but I can just play music right from here in brilliant quality and have a lot of room for a lot of different albums and artists if I wanted. So that's pretty great. I love having the ability to download and upload whatever I want, and also you can expand the memory by inserting new micro or normal SD cards into this device, which is also great. So overall, I'd say this phone is a pretty fantastic phone for how small it is and how versatile it is. I mean, I got this phone expecting it to be a great Android phone. I get a taste of Android, I get a taste of what I want to see, but I was happily surprised. And for at least the first week of having this, I couldn't find one single flaw. I was so fascinated. If you're coming from an iPhone family, or you're coming from any Apple devices, and you switch to this, you'll be amazed how many features that Apple just hasn't added yet, that this one already has. Especially a fun thing is that if you drag an app, things don't wiggle, you just get to move that app, you can remove it immediately, or you can drag it up to that little top bar, and you can keep moving to different screens and whatnot. You can also make folders and have folders right there, and they've had that from the start. So this is a great device. They're coming out with Gingerbread, the newest OS, soon, and this device might get OS Gingerbread, but I don't know. They haven't made any official announcements about it. But this is a great app. My favorite feature, of course, is, besides the stuff I've already talked about, is able to record and upload videos straight from this phone to YouTube. In fact, I do that almost every other day on my second channel, which you can check out in the description if you're not already subscribed. And I guess that's it. I hope you really liked this review. If you have any questions about this phone, make sure to leave a comment, because I love this phone. I love making videos about it. So anything you want about this, I'll also be making some Android app reviews and whatnot. Maybe some Android applications if I want in the future. So stay tuned. This is a great phone, and I don't know. That's about it. I'm going to have some new videos up on Thursday and over the weekend, and I'll leave you with this really cool thing. Whenever you come out of unlock mode, if you have that widget there, it gets all cloudy or foggy depending on the weather. So there you go. I'll see you guys later. Make sure to pick up one of these phones if you're looking for a phone and get someone for a holiday coming up, and make sure to also check out my other unboxings that I had recently. And again, subscribe to see more videos of this, Minecraft, of tons of other stuff. I'll see you guys later.